All right, so we are going to start with lesson 7.2, adding and subtracting rational expressions with common denominator, right? So one thing that we have to remember about adding and subtracting rational expressions is that if they have the same denominator, we keep that common denominator and combine the numerators. So we will have a single numerator, and sometimes it's going to be a large numerator. Just simplify the numerator by combining any like terms. And let me start with an example. X plus 8 and 5x plus 8. So when we are adding, in this case, rational expressions, and if they have the same denominator, what do? We keep the denominator and combine the numerators. Okay? So right here we could have a what? 6x divided by 8. Now we can simplify it. That would be divided by 2 is 3 and divided by 2 is 4. So here is in the simplest form, okay? So because I had the same denominator, we keep the common denominator and we combine the numerators. Now, let's do another one. This one. X squared divided by x plus 4 minus 16x plus 4. Again, we have the same denominator, so I keep that common denominator. And what do? Numerators, I just add the numerators, combine them. But what is this? This is the difference of two squares. So right here, I can make a 1. So my answer is going to be x minus 4 divided by what? By 1. And this is equal to x minus 4. That's my answer. Okay? Remember, this one is the difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. And that's what I did. Okay? So, what do we do when the denominators are not the same? Okay, and believe it or not, the lowest common denominator is easier to find when the denominator has letters and polynomials in it. It's all about making sure the numbers, the letters or variables, or polynomials match each other. We're gonna do a couple of examples of finding the lowest common denominator before we actually gonna try adding. So we're just going to gonna be working on that. So it says find the lowest common denominator of the rational expressions. That's what they want us to do. And here's the first one. 7 we've been giving two expressions, okay? So let's start. First, the lowest common denominator of 9, and we're going to do this too, and 9 and 6 is what? Is 18, right? So we know both need to become an 18. Let's do it. So I need to, this is what I have there. I have a 6 and a 9. So in order to become an 18, I need to multiply by 3 and multiply by 2, right? I have the 7 and I have the 2. So whatever I do in the bottom, I need to do it on the top too. Don't forget that. Just like when we're adding and subtracting fractions with different denominators. Now, the second, the x's don't match, right? So what do? We need one more factor of x on the right. We need one more factor of x on the right. So let me write it down. Sorry, it's gotta be to the fifth. We have a 2, we have a 9. This is gonna be times 2 times 2, and this is gonna be x to the second power, but I need to add another one. So I need to multiply by x. If I multiply it here, I need to multiply it on top. All right? Now, the y's don't match. So we need one more factor of y on the right. We need of y on the right. Remember, they need to match. So I need to do multiply by y. Now I have to the third. And right here, I already had it y to the fourth. So I need to add one more. So now what I have left, what is it? Now they look the same, the bottom. 18. So the lowest common denominator is what? 18 x to the third power and y to the fifth power. Okay? Which was this one. 6 times 3, x to the third, y to the fifth, that's equal to 9 times 2, x to the second, x, y to the fourth times y. Okay? Now, we're going to do another one with the same steps so you guys see. This one says exactly the same. Find the lowest common denominator of, and we've been given 11 over x minus 2, x plus 3. All right, so we are now we have factors that look like binomials, and we're going to treat them exactly like we did the variables. Okay, so let me write this down. Notice we now have factors that look like binomials. Okay, we treat them exactly like we did the variables. Okay, and that means we have x minus 2, right? And we have the 11, and we have x plus 3. So right here, we're missing the x plus 3, and I gotta add it on the top. So we're gonna say that there was an x plus 3 missing on the left. And we just add it there. Now, there is a what? A x minus 2 missing on the right. Remember, they have to match, okay? So what we need to do is making sure the numbers, letters, or variables and or polynomials match each other. So what is our x minus 2 and x plus 3 in any order? That's our lowest common denominator. Again, I noticed the x plus 3 was missing, so I added here and here. Whatever I do on the bottom, I have to do it on the top. Right here, the same thing. Whatever was missing here, I added. What was missing here? X minus 3. And now let's do our first example. We're going to start working on adding and subtracting. Hold on. So we are going to be adding and subtracting rational expressions with unlike denominators. Now that we know what to do. So we need to add, and we've been given 4p to the third times q plus 3 5p to the fourth q. Now, just like we did the other one, you know what? I want to use this one. Okay. So, in terms of the numbers, looking at the denominator, I have a 1 and a 5. So what do we need on this side? We need a 5. That we have it here. Okay. P to the third power, and I have p to the fourth power. So I need to add 1p here. Okay. Now, q, both have just one q. I don't need to add anything. So I had 4 here and a 3 here. So I need to add what? 5p, because this is exactly what I add on the bottom. So now what I have is my lowest common denominator is going to be 5p to the fourth power q plus 5p to the fourth power q. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20p plus 3. And my next step is keep the denominator because it's the same. And I'm going to combine the numerator. I just got my answer. I cannot do anything else there. Okay, now let's do the next one. We're going to do one more adding. This one says so we have 4y plus 3 plus 5y, y minus 3. Okay? So what I need to do I have the y minus 3. I have the y minus 3, but I don't have the y plus 3. There we go. Got my lowest common denominator. which is y plus 3 times y minus 3. Okay? Combine, distribute, no, not yet. Let's do it like this. So it's going to be 4y minus 12, and this is going to be 5y squared plus 15y. Now, I do have the same denominator, y plus 3, y minus 3. This is going to be 4y minus 12 plus 5y squared plus 15y. So 4y, 4y plus 15y. Or let's start with this one, sorry. 5y squared goes first. 4 plus 15 would be 19y minus 12. And we just leave it there. Okay. Now, let's do a subtraction that we haven't done. I have quite a few that we could do. So here is this one. This one says subtract. Okay. We have t divided by t squared minus 25 minus 3 divided by t squared minus 3t minus 10. So what do I do first? This is what? The difference of two squares, right? Minus 5 and t plus 5 minus 3. And this one is going to be two numbers. When I multiplied, I get 10. When I add, I get negative 3. That's going to be negative 5 plus 2. Okay, now let's do it. So we have x minus 5 times x, 10, t